mainstream media making its stance clear in covering the president's border order from the weekend.
First week firestorm. Protests around the country after Trump limits entry to the U.S.
A very different America.
Mr. Trump established a religious test for refugees from those Muslim countries.
Really? Well, despite the narrative, many Muslims actually support Donald Trump's extreme vetting, including our next guest, here to explain, the co-founder of the Muslim Reform Movement, Asra Nomani. She joins us from our nation's capital. And if you remember her, it was just a couple of days after the election that you came on the air, Asra, and you said that you had never voted for a Republican before, but you cast your vote for Donald Trump. So as the mainstream media examines what he has done with this extreme vetting and the temporary pause, Asra, are you shocked at the number of mainstream media outlets that say there is a Muslim ban? Because that is simply not true.
You know, I've been a journalist for 30 years, and I'm really disappointed in the fact that the media has unfortunately gone along with this meme of hashtag Muslim ban. It's a propaganda campaign. You know, in communications, there's a term called agitprop. It means agitation propaganda. And what we see right now is agitation propaganda from a very partisan political movement that lost the election on election day. And what I'm really disturbed by is when I did a search last night of how many outlets have Muslim ban in their headlines, they go everywhere from the New York Times to Slate magazine. It's a disturbing trend where we are basically inciting fear and doing it very irresponsibly.
Absolutely. And you know, just look at history. This list of the countries that Donald Trump is taking the temporary ban of having people come over. The list came from the Obama administration. And you know, you don't hear that on the other channels. And also, when Barack Obama in, I believe it was 2011, had a 6-month ban on refugees from the country of Iraq, where was the outrage then?
Yeah, you know, I was driving in today listening to NPR, and they had Senator Kaine on and opposing the ban. It's such a partisan view. Of course, he's the opposition party now, and he will oppose this ban, as will Elizabeth Warren. Everybody has a right, but we need to have our eyes wide open about everybody's special interests.
Right.
I came to this country in the 1960s, and we know very clearly that there is an extremism problem that has been exported to the world from that reaches all the far corners of our societies. I hope that over the next 30 days, as the Trump administration establishes its countering Islamic State strategy, we actually deal very systematically with the ideology that crosses these porous borders.
I've got a question for you. You know, in all, 109 people around the globe were detained at airports. And you just said that this is all political, and you know, it's been suggested that some Soros money is involved as well. Are the Democrats using these 109 detainees, who most of them have gone on their way, for political purposes, as you know, essentially for political purposes?
Well, you know, I came to this country. I understand the power and the magic of America, and many people are very well intentioned in trying to protect people on a humanitarian basis. But I did the search, and what I found was, in fact, a campaign that was started by the Open Society Foundation in 2008 called the National Security and Human Rights Campaign. It has funded dozens of organizations that are now pumping people out into the streets. As many of your viewers know, George Soros was also one of Hillary Clinton's biggest donors.
Indeed. All right, Asra, we thank you very much for joining